hospital opened up, they opened up in 1926, they used this as a cafeteria. But this would have been a building that had a 500 patient capacity. And even though this room is fairly large, it is not large enough for 500 people, at least at once. Now, of course, they would have had them here throughout different intervals of the day, but still not quite big enough for what they needed. So they used this room on a point system, meaning that you had to be following your doctor's orders, you had to be dressed in your Sunday best, and I mean, let's face it, guys, nobody would be cutting it today, right? And then you also had to follow the rules of the hospital, which meant you couldn't make hooch in the bathroom, you couldn't carry on relationships with the opposite sex. Everybody was sectioned off on different floors, male, female here, okay? So they really wanted you to look the part and play the part if you were coming down here. Now, a lot of you are wondering why that might be. Because you had a photograph taken and you were publicized in the newspaper, and that may not seem like a lot now, but this was the social media platform almost 100 years ago. This is where you wanted to come to find out if you had family or friends here in the hospital, what was going on with them, or maybe the latest gossip of the hospital, right? Because you're up here, you have nothing to do, you can't leave and go anywhere. There was probably a lot of drama going on up here. I know they use the cafeteria also to every year host a King and Queen Ball of Waverly, where they voted for one male and female patient. And they did that right here in this room. I know that the patients were never denied food, even though all of them could not come down in here to this big cafeteria. They were actually able to have food 24 hours a day. It was one of the main treatments for TB. They just did that on the different floors that they were living. Each floor had 2 kitchens and dining rooms. So if they were on the second floor and they couldn't come in this area, maybe they couldn't follow the rules, maybe they didn't have good clothes, they could go in one of 2 other dining rooms on this floor to eat. Some more cool facts about Waverly. They opened up in October of 1926. So they held a Halloween party when they opened. And I like to think we continue that tradition on every year by hosting a haunt. How many of you all have been to our haunted house before? No, just a few people? Wow. How many of you all are local to Louisville or Kentucky? Quite a few, almost everybody. Well, you all have to come check it out. If you're back around this area, we start next weekend and we go through the first weekend in November this year. All of our first floor is a haunted house, so it's a haunted house within a haunted house, is what I always say. Now, I was let Cindy take just a few minutes before she starts with you all in the atrium. For some of you younger guests here, can any of you all tell me one of the nicknames maybe that you would have heard of TV? Anybody? All right, how about for maybe some of the older people? Nicknames for TV.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, let's think about the movie Tombstone. How many of you all seen that? Val Kilmer played Doc Holliday, right? What did they talk about all the time that he had? They referred to consumption a lot in that movie. I remember because I was so young and I thought they were talking about his drinking. But they were actually talking about TV. It took me working here to realize that that's what that meant. The other nickname would have been White Plague. And Cindy is going to show you all one of Louisville's first tanning beds today and kind of explain. Well, she's going to show you the room that it would have been in, because it's no longer here. A lot of our stuff that is of value would have been stripped a long, long time ago. This building sat vacant for almost 40 years, abandoned. We had lots of trespassers in here, and they took pretty much everything. So, we got a big group. Please stay with your guide, and the caboose will stay at the end today, making sure everybody's safe through the building. You all got 30 minutes, about 10 minutes.